What if I told you that you are currently in grave danger, that you are quietly handing over the steering wheel of your life to a complete stranger? And what's even more shocking is that while you believe you are making your own choices, your emotions are actually pulling all the strings while you simply play the part. We've all been there, staring at a daunting task, muttering, "I don't feel like doing this right now," or "I'll just do it later, it won't take long." You know full well you are procrastinating. But if you think your procrastination stems from pure laziness or a lack of self-discipline, you couldn't be more wrong. Back in the 1980s, psychologists discovered that procrastination is fundamentally not a time management issue, nor is it a symptom of laziness. Instead, it is an emotional regulation problem. Every time a challenging task appears, a hidden switch in our brain is flipped. That switch triggers an urge to escape through scrolling on our phones, snacking, or getting busy with completely trivial matters. As Dr. Tim Peschel, a leading authority on procrastination from Carleton University, points out, we are constantly hijacked by an emotional system that we barely understand. Imagine your brain as a magnificent kingdom. In the highest tower sits the wise prophet, representing your prefrontal cortex, the seat of rational decision-making, planning, and long-term vision. The prophet knows what is good for your future. But deep in the central forest lies the emotional sprite, representing your amygdala and ancient survival circuits. When a difficult report or assignment arrives, the prophet evaluates its long-term benefits. Yet, the moment the news reaches the emotional sprite, it panics, screaming, "This is too hard. This is boring." Instead of consulting the prophet, the emotional sprite rushes to the sea of memory to look for quick fixes, then heads straight into the dopamine forest. Once the sprite floods itself with dopamine hits, it seizes control of the entire kingdom. You drop your assignment, collapse onto the couch, and choose short-term mood repair over long-term success, desperate to avoid negative feelings like anxiety and frustration. This brings us to a fascinating economic and psychological phenomenon known as time inconsistency. There are essentially two versions of you, your present self and your future self. Your future self wants a toned, healthy body, but your present self wants a sweet milk tea right now. Most of the time, the present self wins. Why? Because although your future self can set grand goals, only your present self possesses the power to take action. We suffer from delayed discounting, our tendency to heavily discount rewards that require waiting. Furthermore, we exhibit excessive optimism about our future selves. We dump our difficult burdens onto tomorrow's self, assuming that tomorrow's version of us will magically possess infinitely more motivation. But here is the catch. Tomorrow's self is today's self. Brain scans show that when people think about their future selves, the activated brain regions are remarkably similar to those used when thinking about a total stranger. We willingly hand over the most important chapters of our lives to a stranger. So, how do we break this destructive cycle? Procrastination doesn't mean you lack motivation entirely. Rather, your motivation has been hijacked and transferred to something else, like endless scrolling. You won't stop procrastinating until you align your tasks with your true, internal desires. According to self-determination theory, cultivating genuine intrinsic motivation requires fulfilling three fundamental psychological needs: autonomy, competence, and relatedness. First, autonomy means feeling like the master of your own destiny, knowing your choices belong to you. Second, competence is the confidence that you possess the skills to execute a task. Third, relatedness involves connection and social support from others. When these three needs are met, working stops feeling like a grueling battle against your own willpower. If you want to conquer procrastination effectively, here are 5 practical strategies you can implement right away. First, set strict time boundaries. Vague intentions like "I'll do it later" are recipes for failure. Assign a concrete time frame. Second, abandon perfectionism. Stop waiting for idealized, romanticized conditions before you start reading or working. Procrastination thrives on overthinking and underacting. Third, action precedes motivation. Do not wait to feel motivated. Start with a tiny 2-minute task, or use a countdown technique like 3, 2, 1, go, to train immediate action. Fourth, reduce environmental friction. Make the right choices easier by laying out your running shoes or removing distracting apps. Fifth, Find an accountability partner. Sharing your goals and progress with someone else dramatically increases your commitment and adds shared fun to the process. As screenwriter Charlie Brooker once joked when asked about his creative process, forget talent and luck. What you really need is a strict deadline and a giant person standing behind you ready to break your knees if you don't deliver. While we might not need physical threats, the core truth remains. Procrastination is an emotional hurdle, not a life sentence. By understanding how your mind works, respecting your psychological needs, and taking that crucial first small step, you can finally reclaim control of your time, your choices, and your future. Like and subscribe for more cognitive insights. Have a nice day.